The Korean hot stone rice bowl that will make you salivate. This is a dish that makes you feast with your eyes. Korean Bibimbap. Welcome back to Wok Wednesdays. I'm Jeremy from School of Wok, London's premier Asian cookery school. Let's get cooking. Bibimbap is one of these dishes that just excites me. You know, you get that sort of hot stone bowl sizzling away. And actually, I'm using a pestle and mortar today. We've got really thick marble or stone pestle and mortars, and it's in the oven at 225 degrees C now. I started it at 200 degrees to sort of warm up so it didn't crack. And then I'm just hitting it up a little bit at a time until it hits 250 degrees, if you can get that hot. Now, the real enjoyment of bibimbap is when it's served and it's sizzling away, the rice is sizzling away, it's topped then with all these colourful veg, and it's the veg that really makes it for me, before then adding either steak, which is what I'm doing today, or a cracked egg on top, however you like. It's very easy to sort of get your veg prepped. If you want nice, thin juliennes or strips of carrot, then peeling your carrot is a bit, not necessarily easier, but more beautiful. So once you've peeled your carrot like this, you get this lovely sort of rings of carrot, which for me, when you're making bibimbap, a lot of it is about the presentation, you know, feasting with your eyes before you actually tuck in. Now, courgette, again, you can slice this and dice this however you want, really. I'm going to stir fry the courgette with some shiitake mushrooms here. I've got these lovely fresh shiitake mushrooms. So I kind of want my courgette chunky enough to create a different texture to the carrot. So I'm going for sort of rough, angled dices. Mushroom, I quite like just tearing them so that they keep their sort of natural shape. I've got this sirloin steak here. I'm just going to marinade. I'm not going to finely chop this, I'm just going to slice into it so the flavour sort of imparts onto the meat. But then before searing, it's going to be easier to just brush off any bits of garlic so they don't burn. Spring onion, just lengths of spring onion. I'm just going to open the thicker white parts up a little so that, again, the flavour gets into the steak. I'm going to season this with a little bit of light soy sauce, a good sort of teaspoon of sugar. I've got brown sugar here. You can use any type of sugar for this. A pinch of black pepper, and then some sesame oil. And sesame oil for bibimbap is really key. I'm going to use this with the blanched veg in a second as well. Give that a good mix. Massage that flavour into the steak. Let that sit, ideally for half an hour before you sear it. Making bibimbap is really easy. The only slight, I guess, not annoyance, but the thing that takes a little bit of time is that to get it looking beautiful, you want to sort of treat each individual ingredient one at a time. So I'm going to blanch some spinach very quickly, and pretty much as soon as that spinach has gone in, you want to take it out. So you want to keep its nice green vibrant colour and a little bit of crunch as well. And that spinach is going to go straight onto a plate or bowl, whatever, and I'm going to season that whilst it's still hot. So just a crack of sea salt and a drizzle of sesame oil, and then just mix that around nice and quick. And I'm just sort of setting up all my different ingredients. So if I was making more than one bowl of bibimbap, we can just grab and go. Bean sprouts, gonna treat exactly the same way. Just let it sit in the blanching water for a little bit longer. 20, 30 seconds max. Now you wanna keep the crunch of those bean sprouts, which is why, again, we don't cook them for very long at all. Again, whilst your bean sprouts are still hot, season them. pinch of salt, and pepper works really well with bean sprouts. So a little bit of pepper, and again, some sesame oil. Give those a mix. And keep them ready. And this is all starting to compile really easily. It just looks beautiful. Next up, we're going to stir fry our vegetables. Again, I'm not going to add too much seasoning to this because I'm going to make up a sauce at the end. Nice high heat. And that oil wants to be smoking hot before you get your courgettes and your mushrooms in. You want to allow everything in this wok to sear a little before adding any seasoning at all, because if you get the salt into there, then the moisture of the courgettes and mushrooms, because they're fresh, will come out straight away. Again, just a little pinch of salt in here, not too much, and some sesame oil. Just at the end, again, just to keep the texture of that veg nice and natural. Just whilst I'm heating that griddle up for my steak, I'm going to make up my samjang. Really simple. I've got some gochujang here, some light soy sauce, a little bit of the last sort of dregs of sesame oil, and some black sesame seeds. Give that a little mix. I actually don't mind a little drizzle of water in that, just to thin it out. I find gochujang quite sort of on the sweeter side. If you want, you can add a bit more sugar to it. I quite like that sort of saltiness. The last couple of bits before I sear the steak. Just gonna split my egg yolk from the white. And when that sizzling rice comes out, that's ready to just sit into that hot stone bowl. My rice, this is Japanese or Korean white rice. It's about 1.5 to 1 water to rice. And you want to cook it fresh before you put it into the stone bowl. Now you can see that pestle and mortar literally smoking hot. I'm going to pour a fair bit of oil into there and then just mix that around before I then put the rice in. This oven is way too tall for me. Oh, I'm getting excited by this. Remember, I've sort of slowly increased the heat of the oven from 200 up to 250. Whack that in, 5 minutes, and then we'll serve up. That gives me enough time to sear my steak. Got that nice smoking hot griddle. A minute on either side should do the job. So from here on in, it's an easy compiling job of all those beautifully prepared ingredients that you guys have done. You can hear that stone bowl sizzling that rice. Nice curls of carrot. I mean, barely got space for my steak. Egg yolk, just pop on top in the center there. Nice drizzle of this Korean barbecue sauce. And there you have it, my steak bibimbap. And I find this quite funny because I guess the presentation of a bibimbap is all about the pride of cooking it. You know, making something look so beautiful, but then as soon as it gets served, you just mix it all in anyway. Oh, I can feel the crispy rice bits on the bottom there. This is gonna be hot. Homemade bibimbap, the best it can be. Don't forget, if you like this recipe, you wanna learn more, like, comment, subscribe, ding, hit that notification bell, and we will see you for more delicious food.